Hi guys! Most people think of islands as scenic spots perfect for an unforgettable vacation. But did you know that there are several islands on our planet where it's nearly impossible to stay safe? Today I'm going to tell you about these islands. Have a creepy viewing experience. Bikini Atoll, Marshall Islands. An atoll is a type of island formed as an elevation on the ocean floor, topped with a coral superstructure forming a reef and a group of inlets separated by straits. These straits connect the ocean to the lagoon. If there are no straits, the land forms a continuous ring. In this case, the water in the lagoon may even be less salty than in the ocean. The Bikini Atoll made the list of the most dangerous islands in the world for two reasons: the huge number of sharks, which is why it's also called a shark island, and high levels of radiation. From 1946 to 1958, dozens of nuclear weapons tests were carried out there, which left the atoll almost completely destroyed. Nevertheless, the land was declared safe 10 years later and was populated again. However, another few years later, it was determined that settling there was more dangerous after all, since the radiation levels were still several times over the norm. Ilha da Comada Grande, Brazil. It's a volcanic island in the Atlantic Ocean, 35 kilometers off the coast of Brazil, south of Sao Paulo. It is widely known as Snake Island, as it is home to one of the most dangerous snakes in the world, Bothrops insularis, whose bite causes rapid tissue necrosis, acute renal failure, and gastrointestinal bleeding. Death occurs in 7% of cases. Ilha da Comada Grande is teeming with venomous reptiles. It's the only case known to history when snakes have completely ousted humans from a territory. In the 19th century, a banana company in Sao Paulo planned to arrange banana plantations there, but the snakes drove them away. The workers barely stepped on the ground when they were literally attacked by the reptiles. And even high boots failed to protect them. Bothrops are excellent at climbing trees. They flock together and attack the victim from a height. Thus, people managed to clear only a small part of the island and installed a lighthouse there. All 3 caretakers died from snake bites, one after another. Because of this, as well as for the sake of preserving the island's flora and fauna, the country's authorities placed a ban on visiting the island, and now it's included in the list of the most dangerous places on Earth. Miyakijima, Japan. It is a volcanic island in the Pacific Ocean, part of the Miyagi region of the Tokyo Prefecture. In the center of the island lies the Oyama volcano, which erupts once in a while. During the 2000 earthquake eruption, there was a flow of poisonous volcanic gas from the crater, so the entire population of the island was evacuated for 4.5 years. Despite the end of the evacuation period and the opening of the tourist season, an insignificant gas flow from the crater persists. Thrill seekers eagerly visit this place. Like all local residents, they carry gas masks with them at all times. The unpredictable volcano can start its gas attack at the most unexpected moment. The volcano activity is now monitored by the Institute of Geography and the Scientific Research Institute for Disaster Prevention. Gruinard, Great Britain. During World War II, the British government carried out a biological warfare test using anthrax. The choice of the site fell on the deserted Scottish island of Gruinard, with an area of 2 square kilometers. 80 sheep were brought there, after which a bomber rose into the sky and dropped a bomb filled with bacillus anthracis spores. A white cloud floated over the animals, and soon there was not a single living soul left on the island. The researchers wore protective suits to collect the dead sheep. They took samples of their skin and internal organs and burnt the remains. There was no doubt left that anthrax could turn cities into empty deserts. Poisonous spores are immune to heat and drought. Gruinard was declared a quarantine zone, and for several decades, only a few people knew about what happened there. Ram Ri, Myanmar. This island became famous for the biggest crocodile attack on humans in history. In January 1945, the Allies launched an offensive attack against the Imperial Japanese Army. Their aim was to get Ramree and the neighboring island of Chiduba and establish an Air Force base there to communicate with the mainland. In February 1945, the 36th Indian Infantry Division, supported by the Naval Artillery and Aviation, landed on the island and started pushing the Japanese garrison back into the swamps. British soldiers, including the naturalist Bruce Stanley Wright, who participated in the battle, claimed that large numbers of saltwater crocodiles living in mangrove swamps attacked Japanese soldiers that were crossing the swamps. Wright wrote about it, the scattered rifle shots in the pitch-black swamp punctured by the screams of wounded men crushed in the jaws of the huge reptiles. However, skeptics argue that the Japanese had been pushed back into the swamp a month before, and that most of them died of scurvy and malaria. And on February 19th and 20th, the site was bombed and burnt down by the Americans, after which only 24 people survived. However, the Guinness Book of Records recognized his crocodile attack as the worst one ever to have been recorded. If not hundreds, then certainly dozens of Japanese soldiers were attacked by those reptiles. North Sentinel Island, India. This is one of the Andaman Islands in the Bay of Bengal. It is located west of South Andaman and has an area of 72 square kilometers. The island is officially administered by India as part of the Indian Union Territory of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. North Sentinel is home to the Sentinelese, whose Aboriginal population is currently estimated at about 50 to 400 people. They refuse any kind of interaction with the outside world. There has never been any successful contact with the inhabitants of this island. There is no record of physical occupation of the island which would allow it sovereignty from India. The island has an uncertain political status, as it isn't legally registered as an autonomous administrative division of India, but it is considered a sovereign entity under the protection of India. In 2004, the island was hit by a tsunami. Some of the island's residents survived. It was confirmed a few days after the tsunami when an Indian government's helicopter spotted several residents aiming arrows at the hovering aircraft with the clear intention of chasing it away. Poveglia, Venice. Poveglia Island is located in Venice, not far from the Lido. Poveglia Island is currently closed to tourists, and this year it celebrates a sort of anniversary. It has been 50 years since the place has been abandoned. Moreover, the island is patrolled to prevent curious tourists from visiting it. Actually, you can find someone to take you there by boat, but it comes at a price. You can often hear groans and screams coming from the island, see mysterious lights in the distance, and some witnesses even assure that they have seen a foggy silhouette. Sometimes you can hear the toll of the long-removed bell. Long ago, there used to be a mental hospital on the island. According to popular belief, its chief conducted experiments on the hospital patients without anesthesia. One day, they rebelled and forced him to jump off the bell tower. Having hit the ground, he didn't just die right away, but was enveloped by a cloud of fog that strangled him to death. The rioters took the corpse and walled it up in the chapel. Now his ghost often roams the island. An Italian businessman, Luigi Brunaro, has recently rented the area for a period of 99 years. He doesn't believe in the legend and plans on building a hotel there. Tuvalu Island, Polynesia. The main threat to this island is the frequently rising sea levels. The island's highest point is just 4.6 meters above the water. Therefore, the island goes underwater once in a while, which causes the local people and fishermen a lot of trouble. Well, that's all, friends. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave your comments and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time.